Okay, so we're starting a tape 2 of the downtown, somewhat shishi district of Rehoboth. And we're starting here askew, perhaps appropriately. I'm putting a glove on because it's March and it's in the 20s and 30s and 40s. This is the house that Jack Abramoff's lobbying firm owned at one point. It was also a bed and breakfast that catered primarily to young gentlemen only, which is part of the population of the street we're about to walk down. Anyway, it was then called the Mallard Guest House, and also some other kind of investment firm owned it. It's changed hands in the past 15 or 20 years at least 3 times. In fact, that may even just be in the past 11 years. Anyway, so here's a shopping district, a kind of totally frivolous, somewhat gay-oriented shopping district. Here is a interior designer, been there a long time. Beside the interior designer is a popular eatery and drinkery that has in past years been called Aqua, and become so popular that huge numbers of people stand here on the sidewalk, and the police come and tell them they're making too much noise and they can't stand on the sidewalk. Although there aren't really that many people who live residentially in the immediate area. Although there's this teeny sweet house, again kind of Berlin gamey looking. Here's Aqua. Obviously Aqua doesn't really get going until it gets warm because Aqua is largely outside. And people who have big muscles stand here in tight shirts and drink with their friends. Another sweet little Barney looking thing. A restaurant I don't know much about. Some other kind of store, McKinsey Fay Accessories. I think that's women's clothing, don't know much about it. This might actually be a private residence. Occasionally these private residences are real estate firms or law firms. This is probably a condo. Something way back there. This, I think, I forget what this is called. Polo Loco? I don't know. Has good black bean soup. I forget what it's called. If you want a cheeseburger and a black bean soup and a Corona, it's a place to go. You can find it because it looks like that, very brightly colored. Here's a little shopping mall. Here's some kind of store. I think last year this was like what Rehoboth is so much full of. Kind of early retired lobbyists and lawyers and government workers who either they or their boyfriend become an artist, or they both go into sort of amusing professions and hang out at the beach for a while, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. This is apparently the gay bookstore. It's called Proud. It was over here on this side, where something that's a fitness studio called Fusion will be coming. There's a whole bunch of stuff down there. There was this mini chain of gay bookstores, Lambda Rising, in D.C. and Maryland and Virginia. I guess there was one in Baltimore, one in Rehoboth, one in, here's a t-shirt for Poodle Beach, which is the name of one of the beaches that people at this store might go to. Oh, there we see a little statue. I don't know if you can see that in the shade. Anyway, some DADT book. Anyway, Lambda Rising, the owners just suddenly sold it, or they actually didn't sell it, they closed it in D.C. and the Baltimore store and the Rehoboth store. And I was told by people attached to the Rehoboth store that they wanted to buy it and made an offer to buy it, and the owners simply closed it, didn't sell it to them. It's all very mysterious. So they couldn't actually open a bookstore called Lambda Rising, and instead they opened this bookstore called Proud that's been here 2 or 3 years now. So it's Lambda Rising, which was a very famous bookstore. Closed. Here's a sweet little house. And this is so funny. This also used to be a DC business, Universal Gear. The owners probably broke their association up. I'm not sure if there still is a store in DC. It's dedicated to expensive underwear that looks really good if you have a gym body. And one of the owners did sell his house in DuPont Circle and moved here, and he opened this up. I think way back there is a spa. This is just an odd street. That used to be a real estate firm. Maybe it still is, although it seems to be designers now. This is a restaurant a lot of people like, so I've always found it kind of middling, like perfectly acceptable. If you work nearby, you'd eat there, but you know, when I'm on vacation, I want something more. This is a B&B. Here's something called the Seafood Shack that has cute mermaid pictures. I always am a sucker for mermaids. I was since I was a child. I like the tuna mermaid. Another store. Here's a whole row of stores. Downtown Rehoboth has several mews like this. Two on this side and at least one on the other side. One on the other side's called Penny Lane. You can buy delicious crepes there made by real French people who are the owners, but I think also they import people to work there in the summer. You can get any kind of crepe you want. They have like 50 kinds. You can just tell them you want salmon and tomato, or you want Nutella and banana, or you want cheese and chives. So here's another little muse. And these are almost all gay-owned stores, including Lori's. Lori's will actually, you can text and call in orders, and she will bring you picnic baskets to the beach on a little moped or something, or a mini bike. This is Camp Rehoboth, which is the gay community center for Rehoboth, although I'll probably let other people come here and visit too if you ever gave them money, especially if you gave them enough. You can come here and hang out on their front porch and use their Wi-Fi and use their bathroom and all kinds of goodies. Anyway, that's Camp Rehoboth. Of course, it's in an area that's devoted to spas and waxing and nails, and this is a restaurant. I bet it's open tonight. Love to eat here. Delicious food, the Blue Moon. Delicious food that will give you gout and cholesterol. It's all Merlot and duck breast and everything else. This is the most famous gay bar. We're here really early, nobody's here. I think it's called the Purple Parrot, even though it's attached to the Blue Moon. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Purple Parrot's somewhere else. How would I know? Anyway, so here we have like an alleged real Italian eatery. Not eatery, delicatessen. Looks like they might even be open some days in March. Nobody's much open on Tuesday and Wednesday, and Monday and Thursday could be out too. Here are those little stores with cutesy names. These two have actually survived though for 5 or 10 years. Here we have one called Elegant Slumming, and here we have one called Beach Essentials. There are also lots of little shops around like this that provide you with things to make your pet happy. Anyway, my plan was to also take some pictures of the water, but I have a feeling I'm going to get down in town. There's a dance on March 30th. So if I post this before March 30th and you want to go to a dance, let's see what kind of dance it is. Oh, it's wine, dine, and shop. So it's really shopping, it's not a dance. I'm from the 70s. Get down, to me, implies that you're playing Sly and the Family Stone and Shaka Khan and Rufus, and you're going to get down, but apparently there's to be no Parliament and Funkadelic here. Instead, you're going to drink and shop. Here's a restaurant that's been here forever, Jake's Seafood House. It's kind of families and frat boys. Perfectly decent food. I mean, you want plates of fried oysters or something. And they're hiring. Look at that. So if you're a kid who wants to work in Rehoboth this summer, there you go. This on the corner was a grocery store called Lingo's. This was the main place downtown. You could actually come and just buy bread and peanut butter and stuff, but I think it's moving. And now we are moving into this block that I don't find all that interesting. For a long time, it had the best breakfast place. It was called Dream Cafe. And it was in this little white building. It was owned by two women who were a couple. And I think they just got sick of working early in the morning and quit it and now do something else. They never seemed happy. They seemed sort of stereotypically unhappy and angry. But they produced just scrumptious breakfast and coffee. Up above